Once again, Trump has grabbed the brass ring at the Washington merry-go-round and with it the attention of the entire world. In the meantime, the rest of the world falls apart, and nobody notices the 2024 sham election held in South Carolina. While the politicians and the media brainwash the public to do their civic duty and vote, they have rigged the system to make your vote useless. All that noise, money, and effort is expended to assure the public that we have free and fair elections while the people in power just laugh at us and continue the charade. How could this be true, you ask, when 95% of all incumbents are returned to office, year after year, and that includes deaths and resignations? You might start to wonder what is going on. It seems that it doesn't matter if you are in a red or blue state. The good old boys have the system rigged and both parties play both sides of the aisle to continue their gravy train. This is why things don't improve. They have no incentive to fix things and will not willingly give up their status and power. In 2024, in the South Carolina Senate and Assembly elections, this is what happened in plain sight. In the 46 Senate districts and races, 25 of the candidates had no viable opponents on the ballot, or none at all. Out of 124 Assembly races, 77 had no viable opponents or opponents at all. So, 60% of the legislative races, mostly incumbents by the way, had no opponent, and 60% of the voting public had no choice in this election. Are you starting to see a problem? Even with an empty ballot, voter turnout was heralded as the greatest in the United States and in South Carolina history. It ranks right up there with the elections in the Russian Federation, the People's Republic of China, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and the Islamic Republic of Iran. George Washington and Abraham Lincoln would be proud. We have abandoned the ideas and ideals of our republic, have sped through the barriers of democracy, and have landed squarely in the hands of the socialist Marxist masters. It's way past the time to stand up and take back our republic and reclaim our heritage and our liberty. We have 2 years until the next election in South Carolina. Here's step 1 and 2. 1. We must change the restrictive and discriminatory ballot access laws in South Carolina. In the last 6 elections, there has been no independent candidates on the ballot for the legislature, and that's on top of the 60% of the missing major party candidates. Just like those other republics mentioned earlier, the voting public must force our legislators to make the changes. It's actually simple. We could use New Jersey's Title 19 as a template. In the bluest and most densely populated state in the nation, they allow independent candidates for assembly needing only 100 valid signatures to qualify. Contrast that with South Carolina, which calls for 5% of registered voters in any district to sign a petition. An average congressional district would need 2,050 signatures, while a Senate district would need a whopping 5,500 signatures. 2. Regardless of what happens with changing the ballot access, we must put our efforts into finding and placing constitutionally minded citizen candidates on the 2026 ballot. Without that happening, things will continue to deteriorate. Nothing will get better. If proper ballot access is not passed, we must make sure that those responsible are grouped with the non-constitutionalists and kicked out of office. So where is this final destination? Until we take our final breath, there is no final destination, only steps and stops along the way. This video is only one step of many. Educate yourself about your country, your history, and your constitution. Then teach everyone in your circle what you know. We can take back Columbia! Then it's off to Washington. Project US at 2026 presented by First Amendment Freepress.org.